Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to see why we have to practice meditation, what are the benefits that we can gain, and at the same time, how we can improve our conventional life through this practice, and at the same time, how we can take that development to our spiritual success. So it is a step-by-step process. So we have to start this practice with where we are, with who we are, not to resist, not to kind of like escape from things, but to go through. So that is very important. So when it comes to today life, we are living in a kind of in an information world. More than any other time in the human history, we are the one who capable to reach to informations from each and everywhere, all the time. You have access through many ways to information. It doesn't matter you like or not, they are keep coming towards you. So then one of the important thing that you have to remember, most of time, if you don't have the deeper awareness inside you regarding this, what will happen? Out of the information, most of time you get disturbed. So that disturb effect for your day-to-day life, and it leads to make you angry, disappointed, and at the same time frustrated, unbalanced, and maybe you're going to have a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, and then you get mad about these things, and then slowly it's going to affect for your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, and then the outcome going to become difficult. So once something you bring out of your bodily, verbally, mentally action, you are responsible for that. So whatever happened far away, that the whatever make you unbalanced through that information, not going to take any responsibility for that. So you are responsible for your actions. So in between this, you have to have clear understanding. Otherwise, what will happen? If you just keep allowing these informations to happen itself, and then remember that even that we used to follow the news 10, 20 years back. When it comes to informations, news is the most important part. In the TV, radio, used to have the news Basically, that is the main. And the most of the TVs that used to have this prime time for news. Why? That is important. But now what happens? Now people create news. Not exactly what happens anywhere. So it's now people create news. And with this machines technology, people create incidents. And sometimes we don't know exactly what is happening underneath around us. So if we just go with the basic level of informations, and sometimes we misunderstand. That's why only protection that you can develop, having the awareness. Because now we see people picks this match fixing, and even we don't know, sometimes you like a sports and some team win, some people win, even we don't know behind that, is it a real game or it is a setup? And the war keep going, and sometimes we don't know really it is a setup or not. And as we seeing around the world, basically, because the human life, wherever, if people die, the human life is life. There is no separation because of the color or the religion or the nation, not like that. The life is life. Everybody have the same value, same weight, same strength. So we have to respect to each and everybody. But we don't see that. Even basically recently, that as you know, that from the beginning, Russia and Ukraine, the war start. So the Ukraine was one of the most beautiful country, and they had most beautiful architecture designing and the universities and more beautiful things. And a lot of people died. A lot of children died. And at the same time, then this Israel and Palestine, this war start. And after this Palestine war, the Israel start to destroy the Palestine. And then what happened recently, all the university students came forward and start to talk about this. But they didn't see that when it happened to Ukraine. And no any student came forward, talk about it. How about that children? How about that students? Why that all the university students keep waiting for this Palestine? There are many other countries who happen. Of course, somehow somebody talk about something is important, but when we look at the news and the incident happen, the way things go, it's kind of like sometimes we can't understand it is real or not. So that's why you have to have the awareness. Another thing is, even though we don't know that there are many, many things hijack us. Pharmaceutical industry hijack our life. You have no choice. The most of time, if you don't have the awareness, what will happen? Doctors, the lawyers, the all this pharmaceutical industry hijack you. And at the same time, look at this all the consumer product, that everything hijack you, your life. If you don't use that things, you become paralyzed. And at the same time, look at all this food circle that keep happening. And with this all the poison we intake and from food. And the most of the doctors know about this. Recently, I was listening to one person. That person mentioned there are a group of that the doctors took a lot of money from companies, and then even though it has kind of like unhealthy ingredients, these doctors told it is good to eat. It's kind of like a killing people. So that person went to the court against these doctors. But somehow they find a way to go through this all. So this all the food circle hijack us. And at the same time, we also, without any meaning, without any reason, sometimes we get so crazy, go through this emotions and the idea of happiness, joy, satisfaction. Those words also hijack our life. To be happy, sometimes people do anything. And for their emotions, to fulfill their emotions, they do anything. So this is where we are today, in the middle of this 2024. And we keep heading with this all the currents around us. And so that's why our life is like juggling act with informations, emotions, happiness, the desire, wanting, struggle, fighting, the war, ideology, religion, the politics, the economy, this everything is kind of like a mixed salad. But the most of things don't care about the real human life or the real nature or the environment. Everybody go with the greed or maybe the deeper hatred, but they became kind of like angels and they share hands, laugh, smile, they do parties, but behind that, they are enemies. Or maybe the ignorance. That is one of the most dangerous things now. The most ignorance people, once they come to the power, what happens? They destroy everything. So how it happened? By mistake, it cannot happen. There are reasons should be there. How that kind of ignorance around us? So then you have to remember that you can't go against this all and you can't change this in a certain way. But the thing is, only one tool that you have that can protect from this everything is your awareness. That's why practicing meditation, at least little bit sit, calm down yourself, relax yourself, and detach from this all the informations and allowing yourself to settle down is very necessary. It's kind of like a medicine for you. It's kind of like a food for your body. It's kind of like a vitamin nourishment. It's the healing for you. Remember that. It's allow you to recover from things happening deeper inside. Because we are always break down, collapsing inside. So then go through this all and find your purpose, develop your creativity, having some kind of productive life is a challenge for us. Get out of this hijacked environment. Having your own path is not easy. So then always have the intention to practice little bit. So once you have the awareness, it gives you the ability to go through this all the situation with around you. Because once you have the awareness, it creates a kind of like a clear path related to the present moment. Awareness is not going to connect with something beyond you. It gives the ability to see the present moment clearly. Once you see that present moment clearly within you and even around you, within your feelings, within your emotions, within your ideas, thoughts, your point of view, this everything. And at the same time, all this material physical world. So you are capable to see things very clearly, and then you can navigate according to the necessary cause and conditions without having preconditioned mind, or without becoming biased, or without just holding to things the way you want. So that adaptivity, once it becomes a skill to yourself, even in the very conventional life, you are capable to little bit find your balance. So that is very necessary from the beginning before we go to our spiritual development. So I will show you how this you can navigate to that. But this is the first thing that you have to understand. You have to rescue your mind from this hijacked environment, society, informations. Otherwise, forget about the spiritual development. Even in the conventional world, you don't know what is this life. You are just you become a part of something or somebody. So you become part of some current. So maybe we just fall into certain dogmas, believings, and then we go with that. So your birthright is to be aware, having your awareness. But remember, even though we talk about the human rights, in this daylight, most of time, the government, the leaders, politicians, and even the spiritual leaders, and the well-known people in the world, that everybody try to ignorance people. So that's kind of like we break this fundamental human quality, because you are birthright to be aware. So if anybody disturb you not to allow you to be aware, that person is destroying the humanity. So that is what do the media and the old advertisement and everything. No one now don't like you to be aware. If you become mindful, if you aware about what is happening, it is a dangerous thing for them. So they always try to disturb you, try to make you happy, playing like ancient time, like how the Romans used to do. If the people become aware a little bit, and they gather and they start to play. do the fight like gladiators and the animals, and give the bread and the wine free, and the people become happy and enjoy and get drunk, have the fun, and then they're not aware about what is happening around them. So today also, even the Romans are not here, in the world, when what we see, the same principle. Whatever happened, the war going on, or the whatever the natural disaster or anything, once the boxing match set up and come, people forget about that all, or maybe soccer match, or the, football or cricket or anything match come, people forget about everything and they start to go into that. That's how the Roman did. See, it's still the same mechanism. So that's why how you can rescue you from this hijack environment. So start to settle down. Little bit, few minutes every day. And start to observe your breathing. Just allow everything to happen as it is. Be aware. Again and again. Be sharp and clear. And at the same time, start to recognize in the present moment what are the experiences that you go through. So then you come to the change. That is when you come to the present moment, one of the important things, you become aware about the outside thing, but deeply inside you recognize this all change. This is what you have to understand. That is create the spiritual shift. That other everything make your conventional life little bit more comfortable. But if you see the change inside you, within your form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, these 5 aggregates, or whatever you go through as experience, or even the outside, if you see this change, once you see the change, you are not going to grasping, holding, clinging to that. So the naturally it start to release. That release is necessary for your mind. That freedom is necessary for your mind. Because when we die, we're going to born again until we attain to the liberation. So this life not going to end here if you don't attain to the enlightenment. It's going to go back to something. So you're going to born again. So why you born again? What is the main reason? The main reason is the karma. There are many. So one is the ignorance, and ignorance lead to desire. Because of the desire, you start to make things bodily, verbally, mentally action, and because of that, you create karma. So once this all become powerless, the karma start to count on you. It start to overtake this all. It take the leads. It handle the situation. And take the next step. But the thing is, you have to remember, from the previous birth life to this life, we born because of the karma. One reason. But this karma also not permanent. Karma also change. So then if you born because of the karma, if the karma change, then out of that karma, if the life come, then the life also should change. So out of the karma, if there is a life happen, that life cannot, only that life cannot be permanent. So then you know that whatever the karma you do, it is not permanent. So the karma, one is the intention, and out of that intention, whatever you do, it leads to certain action, and the result here we call the karma. So then whatever the karma you do, remember, so by the time it's going to go away. Even you go to the hell, it's not permanent, it's going to over. Somehow one day it's going to over. Even you go to the heaven, somehow one day it's going to end. So then sometimes people say when there are difficult times come, when there are sad moments come, when everything go wrong, sometimes people say, this is my karma. But from today, remember, if you say that, and then again you have to know that whatever karma is not permanent. Then you find a little gap to go through it. You see the light in the darkness. You find a little bit space to breathe. Why? Because it doesn't matter whatever the present moment, how hard, how sad, it doesn't matter. It cannot be permanent. So understanding this impermanent through our own inner experience will lead to understand this idea of self is not permanent. Of course, there is I am, but you have to remember that is not permanent. It is not unchangeable, solid, concrete self. So then out of that changeable person, so whatever you do, your bodily, verbally, mentally, actions also changeable. So whatever the karma you create, reactions you create, that also changeable. This once you understand this principle, and within whatever you experience within your 5 aggregates, form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, and you recognize how it's going to change and why it is change. And once you have that, it doesn't matter this world. It doesn't matter whatever it is there. Anymore, it cannot disturb you. So this is a way that you can find a way to go out of this hijacking environment. So try this. So from the beginning, you can't go into that deeper level, but still start a little bit, settle down, a little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you calm down and have the unmovable posture and observe breathing. And then little by little, have the awareness, and then start to harness with the present moment and do the present bodily, verbally, mentally actions with mindfully, and then it will lead you to understand how the change happening within us moment by moment. So this recognizing impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness is the bottom line to get out of this mess. So with that, let's practice a little bit now. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So, in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen as it is. So, when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. And by the time, recognize the impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. Within moment by moment, the experience happen in you. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. To your left side. into your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.